Hello. Good afternoon. All right. I have a special treat for you today. I am doing a class. Of course, now the jets are going to fly over and it's going to be so loud. So let me know if you can hear me, you guys. I live right by an Air Force base, so the jets are always flying over. But I grew up there that way, so. Okay, so hi Lindsay. Good, I can see comments. All right, you guys are gonna love my class today. It's just a mini class. Hey, Alyssa. And Monica, what's up, girl? I'm doing a class today. I want to talk about contouring and just understanding contouring. Whoa, that was really blown out. And why we do it and just kind of how it works, how to make sure you have the right color, how to make sure that you're doing it correctly, because we all want to do it right? Okay, so thank you guys for joining. You can share the video if you want to. If you're just coming on here during it, make sure that you say hi. And if you're watching the replay, make sure you say replay, okay? All right, so I have a bunch of different tools that are all freshly washed and ready for me to do this. And I'm going to kind of take a more standard approach today to highlighting and contouring. Contouring kind of involves highlighting because as soon as you contour something, you've highlighted something else, okay? So the very basics of highlighting and contouring is that dark pushes back and that light brings forward. And you can see that my face is 3D simply because of the contours of my face. So you can see that this like darker looking line right here is my jawline, and that my nose here, I kind of have, you know, darker looks here, and it's shadows that are naturally created from the contours of your face. So what we're doing is when we just put on one big thing of foundation and just go, it gives that flatter look. And what it could do is actually disguise the contours of your face, and again, just make you look really flat. So with a contour, what you're doing is bringing out the details. And what that does is it makes your features really pop. And it can also help some distracting features that distract from what you want people to see. And it can also just give a very natural look instead of like this pasty, just like covered. So I don't think contouring is going anywhere. I don't think it's going to stop. I think everybody is going to contour, and that makeup is just going to become just part of contouring, is just going to be part of it. It's not going to be something that only YouTubers or I do. So I love that contouring can also be something that I can do every single day. And because I don't love, what I used to do was I would do contouring if I really, hi Wendy, thanks for saying hi. If it was something that I was like, oh, I'm going to something really important, then I would contour because it would take forever. And I didn't really know, I don't think anybody really knew what they were doing. They were all just mimicking Kim Kardashian. So when she is like the contouring, the highlight and contour, they really made it like popular and awesome. And so that is awesome too. I'm loving my Lashify lashes, by the way, that I have. They're so pretty. Okay, so the first approach is going to be mostly what people are going to do would be to just kind of take one color that's going to cover. And I like using, instead of having to do a ton of correctors, I like using a highlight or a foundation color that kind of has a corrector in it already. And so I can get a really nice full coverage with just a little tiny bit. You guys can't see the foundation on my face, but you can see where the line of demarcation is, that's for sure. Right? Like, look how disguising that is. So this is a color that has some orange and some yellows in it. And what the yellows and oranges do is yellow and orange are going to disguise blue and purple. Okay? And blue and purple is obviously what's going to take away and going to make our face look super sallow. So I just kind of put my foundation all over. This is a cream foundation. You're going to find it's going to be the most natural. And also a benefit of using cream foundation, besides so many benefits, one of the big benefits with highlighting and contouring is that the reason why I used to not contour was that I'd put all of my makeup on, and if I contoured and I kind of didn't love it, it wasn't really buildable, because I'd put on that liquid and then I'd put on a powder contour or a liquid contour, and it wasn't, I couldn't move it. If I didn't get it where I wanted it, or if I wanted more or anything like that, I couldn't make that change without redoing all of my makeup. So I'm going to start with a fresh, like completely covered foundation look. And I'm just using, this is a perfector sponge, and I like using this when I'm applying a layer, because it does give, and this is really tiny. I soaked it and then squeezed it out. The sounds of freedom, you guys. There you go. Freedom and pilots practicing. Okay, so, and I can also get around all the curvatures of my face and go under eye, okay? So that light brings everything forward, but it also, like I said, disguised all the contours of my face. And now what I can do is I can just blend on some contour. So I'm gonna show you a standard contouring situation. Lots of times we contour with something that's closer to a color that is a bronzer. Now for you, this might be great if your skin is, if you have a really warm tone. Now we look at warm tones, and lots of times I think we think redness is warm, and I think we only think that because like our brains associate red with hot and blue with cold, right? And so actually blue is a cool tone, but red isn't a warm tone. Red, the yellow is, and that golden is a warm tone. So what I would do when I was contouring, and what I think a standard contouring method is that we see, taking a nice brush like this, taking a bronzer and kind of blending out. And I would even sometimes do it with my blush when I first really delved into makeup. So if I had a brown enough blush, I would do it with my blush. And then I'd go under here and just try to create that shadow. So this is how you know if your contour is good or not. Your color, what color to pick out for you. So when I did that, sorry guys, they have not been flying over all day. This is like everybody went on lunch and then we're like, hey, let's go fly around the planes for funzos. Okay, so this standard type of contouring is gonna leave you kind of, I haven't really made any contours on my face. Okay, and it's kind of nice and chiseled and blended out, but the problem is that this isn't the same color as the natural shadows on my face, and so it doesn't look like a natural contour. It looks like, can you guys hear me even with them like flying around? Like obviously not when they do that really crazy flyover, but so what that does is it kind of gives a dirty look. All right, I'm shutting the window. Hang on. I'm gonna have to readjust this whole thing. Okay, that makes it a little bit quieter. The other window I can't get to though. And it also makes it a lot closer and darker. Sorry. Okay, so, and like my thing's like weirdly adjusted, so now you're like looking down on me. But what this does here is this just kind of looks very orange and a little too much like gives it kind of a dirty look. And obviously what we're really trying to do, again, is we're trying to bring out, like, I naturally have a shadow right here, not so much because I did put on some foundation, but I do naturally have a shadow right here that is my cheekbone here. And so when I go like this, you know, you can see that line. So I need to find a color that's much closer to that for it to actually look like contour and for it to actually look professional, nice, you know, nicely done, and for me to look like I know what I'm doing. So what color do I want to use? I think I'm going to use Astoria today. Astoria is a really nice, more cool toned, more olivey contour. Let's see if this is it. I have all my stuff around. And of course, they're like not even flying over right now. I wanted my light. Sorry. Okay, here we go. Here's Astoria. So Astoria is, as you can see, I need to melt this down to make it look cute. Hi, Andrea. Hello. Okay, so this is much closer to that shadow on my face than this nice warm color here, okay? Like that doesn't even look, that just looks like, what do you have on your face? So now I'm gonna use this brush, and instead of using a brush that's just gonna buff it out, I'm gonna use a brush. I need a new 30-second hack brush. This one is like 4 years old. Okay, so instead of having one that's going to buff it out for me already, I want to put it where I want to keep it, okay? So I'm going to just take one that's a straighter edge, or if you want to, you can even take this little tiny, which you know, see them do or whatever. So you can get it right on your, right in that line. And the reason why I say don't do something that's super like diffusing, a diffusing rounded brush, is because you want to put it right where you want it to create that contour. Now, if I go down, another thing that I see a lot with contouring, I'm going to even use this darker contour. If I go in here and I just put it on and I go like that, I'm hollowing out my cheekbone here, which is fine, but that's going to give me kind of like Maleficent cheekbones. And I'm just going for a soft, subtle look. I'm not going for like Halloween here. So this gives it a nice natural look. If I want to go in and have it be more of a glam look of contour, then I'm going to put more contour on. And once you find the right color, and especially if you're using creams, there's nothing wrong with that. And this is kind of like a sharp edge that I use. So I can use that, or I can use this side of it just to make sure I get it right where I want it. And you're gonna kind of, depending on your face shape, if you want to make your face look more full, then you can go in and you can kind of round out those cheeks a little bit with that shadow and bring it more like this. Obviously softly, because you don't want big stripes. And then if you're just trying to give a nice chiseled look and you don't want to have, you want your face to look less full, less fuller, then you're gonna go like right about here, okay? Because that's gonna give you that chiseled look. So I want you to also note that this side where I use the warm, look at how like distracting it is, and this side where I use the cool tone, my eye is suddenly like looks lifted and popped out. So my eyes are not asymmetrical like this. That is the contour lifting up. It gives this appearance of lifting. I'm sitting, you know, pretty straight on here, and it's given this appearance that this eye is a lot higher up, okay? And that's nice because it's bringing forward my eyes, and my eyes are being seen. So nice and deep right here. I go like right above. I start kind of right above here, like right at the top of my ear. Not the top of my ear, this top, but the top where my ear connects to my face, to my head. And then all these technical terms, you guys, you'll thank me, okay? You too can be a makeup artist. All right, so now I'm going to go along, and this is going to be a really visible line also. So you want to make sure you blend this out, unlike I didn't do really well over here. But this was harder to blend out because it's not natural. It doesn't look natural. So going in here now, and now what I'm doing is defining my jawline. No one wants a turkey neck. Maybe you do, and that's okay. But that looks a lot more like a natural shadow than this side does, right? Give me some hearts if you're with me. So, brushing that down, making sure you're kind of smoothing it out. And look at how nice this side looks. And this side looks messy. And it's looking messier and messier. And it didn't even look that messy when I started. But it also kind of is disappearing too. You really don't see it. It's just not. So having something that's a nice pigmented contour, and you want it pigmented because you don't want to have to put a lot on, because then it's going to get really messy and it's just going to fly all over the place. I want to be able to put a little bit on and then be like, okay, this is where it's at. And this is where it's going to stay. And now I can diffuse it as much as I want to. Okay? My husband's home for the day. He's home for the day because he's going on a business trip. So they're outside waving to me. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, using this same big side here. And again, I can still use a rounded brush now when I'm getting to these flatter areas. But when I'm getting to, or larger areas, but right there on my cheekbone, I want that in one spot. I don't want it all over the place. So now let's talk about face shape. Do you need a contour specifically for your face shape? I try to stay away from rules because I think that makeup is art and art is subjective. It's what you want, it's what you are going for, and you can't say what's good and what's bad, okay? And it's other people's opinions. There's plenty of people who have opinions about what I do too, but I like it. It's how I like to do it. So the only thing that you're doing is making sure that you are pulling focus to the features that you want to pull focus to, and that comes through contouring. And then if you feel like you have any like large angles that you want to diminish, maybe you have a really square jawline and you don't love that. Maybe you just feel like it pulls focus. Maybe you do love it and you just don't want to highlight it. Maybe you feel like your forehead is very large and it takes away from your eyes. And I do want to say it does make my eyes look a lot bigger when I contour my forehead, because I've created a shadow now up here. And remember that dark pushes back and that light brings forward. And so now all the light is right here and it's going, look at how big and beautiful your eyes are instead of how big and beautiful your forehead is. It's the same thing with nose contouring. I don't contour my nose because I hate my nose. I contour my nose because I like to let my eyes and my lips pull focus. All right, good information. You guys liking this? Okay, so now you can do a standard contour is going to be like a 3, right? And that's going to soften the jawline, soften the squareness of your forehead, and really what you're going for is focusing on this, the triangle of light here, okay, and giving that nice oval attention right here. So whatever you have to do to create that triangle of light, if that means if your face is, you know, a heart shape, then you're already going to have a triangular jawline here. You might not need much contour on your jawline. If your forehead is really small, then don't put contour on your forehead. You don't have to, and completely hide your forehead. So don't get caught up in the rules and like, oh, well, what face shape am I? Because like, I still don't know what face shape I am. I'm like a mix of like 17. Okay, I make sure I go up in my hairline too, so that I don't have like a white hairline, especially if I'm gonna just be kind of having my hair casual like it is today. Okay, so there's that. And then again, doing something with your nose. So when you're contouring your nose, let's talk about contouring your nose right now. Obviously, I already have lines down my nose, So don't be afraid of putting lines down your nose. Be afraid of making your nose look redonkulous with having something that is that orange on your nose. Because your nose is a protrusion from your face, you need to keep your shadows as natural as possible. So using something really cool toned like this contour, especially a cream contour, because it's forgiving. Again, like this is anywhere from beginner to pro, you can do this. And I'll just take this brush and I'll kind of pinch it so it's a little bit skinny, more skinny, and I'm gonna go, and you can make your nose look a lot bigger actually and pull more focus to your nose if you contour down the sides, and if you do your spaces too far apart. I'm screwing this up. That's okay. I don't usually use this brush to contour my nose. So I'm just doing these, like, you really don't see that line when I turn to the side, and you're especially not going to see it once I start blending it out. Another way that I've seen people contour their nose is to take 2 fingers on their cream, and it's like really cold, so I don't know if this is gonna work. Dip your fingers in your contour, and just, this will give it enough of a width apart, and just go on either side of your nose and go like that. Now, I know that looks nuts, especially because I started up here. But again, because it's a cream contour, it's forgiving. There you go. Hi, Robin. Hi, Deborah. Okay, so like even that, okay? Now, obviously that's like really dark, but that's where you want the placement to be, where there's only a small space in between. And the reason why we do this again is because now it's taking away my nose a little bit and pulling focus to my eyes. You don't have to contour your nose. Most people, I don't contour their nose unless they are like, hey, I feel like my nose is distracting, or they just really want to try it out, or whatever else. So it's totally a preference thing. Then what I would do is take a much lighter foundation shade or highlight shade and take my ring finger, because that I can go really straight with my ring finger. I'll put that right down the center. Really simple. All right, these dark lines go all the way up to your brows, and then that is going to come up kind of in a V. All right, is it perfectly straight? No, doesn't matter, again, because it's creams, so it's super forgiving. I'm just going to use this blender. And what I'm doing with the blender is I'm patting like this. I'm stippling, not wiping, okay? So, side to side, how we look in here. All right, let's talk about contouring. Even you guys, even doing your eyeshadows is contouring, okay? Doing your brows, you're contouring. You are framing your eyes when you do brows like that. I'm about to open the window back up again, and then the jets are gonna fly over again. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of gently stipple, softly blend. And again, the great thing about using a cream contour, when you get to the end, if you feel like you've blended it away, you can put more on, okay? This side, it's pretty much like non-existent, and it's looking flat. So now that we understand where I'm coming from on that, I'm going to wipe off this side, because I don't like half doing my face. I mean, sometimes I do have to do my face, but I want you to get the full picture. I almost wiped off half my nose contour. That's not my intent. All right, so back with my brush here. Get on my foundation. Oh, Kelly says, perfect timing. I want to let me see more. Oh, you're just having your photos done on Saturday and you're saying you needed to learn how to contour. Good. Perfect. Yes, this is so simple, you guys. Anybody can contour like this. And like I said, this is anywhere from beginner to pro. And if you're looking for a glam look, you're just going to put on a little more contour. You're just going to make it more heavy. And that's all. Okay, super simple. So this foundation color is Aura. And this is called 3D foundation because it goes on in a way that, like, even the contour is so pigmented that it's foundation. And it just goes on in these different areas, kind of like a color by number, instead of you having to do, you know, layer after layer. Okay, so not contoured, not contoured. I'm going to go in again with this brush with that sharper edge. I'm going to do this. Lots of times I use the bigger edge of the brush, but I find that this is easier for beginners to know that they've got their placement exactly where they want it. This is called the Detail Hack Brush. If you can only get one brush for your 3D foundation, I recommend this one, but I think you should get all of them because they're all so good. Oh, whoops, I'm going on a different side. Okay, so now down here, ew, I didn't wipe off that orange stuff. Whoops. So check out your contour. Make sure that it is going to match the natural shadows on your face, the shadows that your face already has. And then you're just bringing focus to your features that you really want to make pop. And I love it. It's so pretty. And the fact that I can do this every day and I can do it so fast, that's why I recommend this makeup to everybody. Something that I hated when I was working at the salon was that people would come in and I would do their makeup for them. And they would always say, like, this looks so pretty. Now if I could just take you home with me. And I was always like, Or worse, they'd be like, you know, thank you for doing my makeup for my wedding. I wish that I could figure out how to do this. And I was just like, you can't. I could not tell you. And I didn't love that I was like carrying around this set of skills that I loved so much that I wanted to share with other people. And I felt like I couldn't because it was too complicated. Right? So I love this part of it. All right, there you go. Nice everyday contour. Have the nose contour going on. Okay, so now now that I have those contoured areas, I'm just going to highlight a couple of areas. But I'm going to also talk about contouring your lips as well. So a lot of people, overlining your lips is really popular. It's gotten really popular. And the thing about overlining your lips is that it is really hard to make it look natural because your lips don't naturally start out red right here, right? And so that if you overline to make your lips look bigger and then you go in here, then there's going to be red behind it and all that kind of stuff, or redness, I guess. So when I overline my lips, I contour my lips first. And what that's going to do, especially right here, that's how people get that like really pouty bottom lip, is to take a contour that looks like a natural shadow, because I naturally do have a shadow right here, and just deepen that. Okay, and that's going to give a bit of a more pouty look. Okay, and then I'm going to take this brush. This is actually my eyeshadow brush that I love. This is the eyeshadow everything. But the reason why I love this one is because it's stiff and it's rounded. So it's not going to just give me this harsh line. It's going to give a really nice rounded, like diffused look. And I'm actually going to use this contour for, I don't know why this is like the lip contour, But this contour color it has more red in it, and I think that's why it looks so great on everybody's lips, because it has that brown. Hi. Oh, Jesse, thank you so much. They are not real. They are, and they're not extensions. They're like DIY extensions, I guess. They're Lashify lashes, and I love them so much. Someone else asked what makeup brand I'm using. I'm using Mascara makeup brand. It's Mascara Beauty, and it comes in these compacts, and all the little things all slide in like this. And if you want to color match, I give you a free consultation and color match. I go over your pictures and see like your skin tone, so then I can show you what contours I know will look great on you, and you don't have to do the guesswork of like, I don't know what contour is going to look best, what color is going to look great. I can tell you all of that. Okay. So, and then I'll work with you too to make sure that it's the right one. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit of this contour. This color is indigo, and I'm going to go right on the outside of my lips, not too wide right there. And using that brown red base is going to make it look like my lips are a lot bigger. I don't really have tiny lips, but I do have very light lips, especially on my upper lip. There you go, right into my Cupid's bow. And that gives that, whoops, that's the wrong one. That gives a nice, that's still the wrong one. This is the right one. That gives a nice natural overline, and then you can put on anything you want to. And if you decide you want to go with a bold color and you want to put on something that gives you, this is still gonna be, you're still gonna be really happy that you used this, because it looks like your natural lips behind the color. Let's see, questions. Order my Lashify, can't wait to see how they look on. Yay, totally try them out. It took me a little while. It was a learning curve for sure, but I love little meticulous details and things like that. Okay, so contouring your lips, contouring for doing your brows. Everybody probably knows, if you're new here, then this is how I do my brows. I love my brows. I get either people who love my brows also, or I get hate for my brows, but I think that this is the easiest trick that I found. I was never happy with my brows until I stopped focusing on, I use a highly pigmented eyeshadow, and I just want to do this part, even though this isn't really part of contouring. I want you to see the light and the dark. So all that I do is I worry about this line right here. Put this line where I want it. This is a really pigmented eyeshadow. Okay, and then I'm doing the tail in the little V. And then I just go and do little flicks to give that hair. If I want bolder brows, I can also do another line up here, but just for an everyday, super easy brows, you guys, this is the way to go. If you haven't tried your brows like this, you got to try it out. And I can also pick out a brow color for you. I have the color match consultation form you can fill out in the description of this video. Super easy. All right, voila. Super simple. Brush it out. Great. And look at how, again, like, wow, just the side to side, the framing of my eyes, how much bigger and more like focused in on my eye color and everything doing that is. And again, we're not going for like, this is the easiest way to get my brows uniform too. That was one of my biggest problems, was that I was like, trying so hard to get perfect brows, and then like you do a little bit and then it's like winged liner. When you do a little bit and then you do a little more and then you do a little bit more and you're like, oh my gosh, these are so far off. And it just like looks worse and worse. And that's what I was dealing with when I was trying to get my brows the way that I wanted them. So find out where you want your brows and then you can draw them that way every time. And then I always play a little bit with the middles once I'm done to make sure I'm not way off. I find when it comes to brow colors also, even though my hair is red and this is a warmer brown, meaning there's more yellow in it, still want to pick one that's either neutral. I mean, look at how neutral that color is, and it still comes off looking orange enough. So this is just like with contour. When you're doing contour, you want to make sure that you are picking something that even if you have more warm tones in your face and your skin tone, that you still pick a more shadowy contour. I like this line a little more diffused. All right, so super simple, but that gives you the concept of contouring a lot better. Okay, I also feel like I need to highlight a little bit. So I'm gonna go to help make those contours pop. Now I'm gonna highlight, and this that I'm using, it's like a foundation because it's a color without any sparkles or shimmer in it or whatever, but we call this highlight, or mascara brand calls it highlight, because you are highlighting your face. You're not illuminating it like with sparklies, but you're highlighting those areas, and again, that light brings forward, that dark pushes back, and you're getting those nice highlights. So I'm gonna take this again here, and I'm going to use a brighter color. And notice I didn't start directly in the corner of my eye with that heavy amount because I really don't want, see, I'm starting here. I don't want a ton of product under my eyes. That is the falsehood of YouTube highlighting and contouring artist, is that putting all that product under your eye is not gonna like crease and look crazy in a little bit. Okay, and then now I did the darkness down here, so what you can do, give a little extra pop, put some light right there. Okay, so it's bringing this upper lip out and it's bringing this lower lip out too, because it's sinking this in here and it's making this pop out more. Okay, and then just a little bit right there. And if you really want to get your contour, like you really want to make your contour pop even more, you can always put a much lighter color right under your contour, just like with your eyebrows. If I really want my contour to pop there, they're the contours of my eyebrows. Where's my brush? My husband teases me, my brush. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to share this video, I would love that. And again, if you want a color match, you want me to tell you what contours, eyeshadows, all that would look good for you, make sure that you fill out the form in the link there. Okay, the sponge is damp. That is key. The sponge is just damp. When it's tiny and not, and this is the only sponge I will use. Everything else wipes off my makeup, absorbs my makeup, or it's like punching myself in the face when I'm stippling with it. So it comes in this cute little container here, and it comes that small. And then when you soak it, it doubles up in size, and then I squeeze it out really, really well. Okay. And that way I can, when it's not so dry, it's not going to absorb my makeup. but it makes it really, really soft, and it just helps everything blend, and it's like pressing it into your skin. It's so pretty. So watch just how much like going under my eyebrow with a lighter color is just going to define my brows even more. Because again, it's that rule and that principle of there's the dark and the light, and you have that high contrast. Look at how much more defined and open my eyes look here. And that's why highlighting and contouring are kind of hand in hand, because when you contour one, you end up highlighting the other, because you're causing that drastic difference. And that's why you can do it too, because it's a simple notion once you kind of get the idea down of like, I want this to be pushed back, or I want this to be defined, and I want this to be bright and illuminated and pushed forward and focused. And not everybody, but lots of people love that light look right in here, that really illuminated look. Again, like I told you, it's that triangular shape. It's the triangle of light right here. Those are the areas where I really increased my highlight. And then you're adding, all that's left to do is add some color. So I love this as I throw it. I dropped something, you guys. There's the 1 point for me. Or for you? I don't know. I don't know who gets the points when I drop something. But it's gotten bad. Like up to 10 before. And I think breaking an eyeshadow counts as like 20. I did that last year. All right. So that's just a really soft pink. Like you can't even see it. It's like a lip, almost like a glossy lip gloss. This is Summer Love. And it's a great subtle pink. And then I'm going to add a little more color to my cheeks with so many good blushes. So little time. All right, I'm going to use this blush color, which is Nude. And I'm just going to pop it right on top of the contour. So it's covering the area of the contour plus the apple of my cheek. Really pretty. Like the prettiest color. This is Nude. And then I might top it with a little bit of this really pretty Tropicana, just for a little extra peach tone. I hated blush until I started using cream blushes. They're just there's something about them that is so natural and pretty. Okay, so there's that. And then now what you can even do if you want to really bring it all together, all the contouring. Sorry, my comments keep going away. This whole thing on... Oh, you learned a lot. Oh, thank you. So I'm so glad. Thank you guys so much for watching. Okay, so if you want to just tie it all together, this is my favorite step to do before, after, whatever. But this is, to me, contouring. And this is the place where you're going to use that orangey bronzer. Okay, and it's okay to do this now, because now what I'm doing is I'm adding some contrast. I'm adding like a light... I added the glow right here with that brighter color, that's that more skin tone color. And now I'm going to add glow on the contour areas by taking a cream bronzer, and I'm just going to tap it in like that. This kind of blends out all your contour. I hate it when my contour or something stops like right here, and you can see right here, so I always go behind my ears. And this is just gonna really be so glowy, and this is a part of contouring also. It's not the color that I want to use for my contour, but it is part of contouring, which is just now bringing it all together and also giving those shadows some glow. Okay? So pretty. You can even do, I'm like, and you can, I get too excited. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to put a little tiny bit of this highlight right here. Because again, that light's going to bring forward. Look at how much bigger my lip looks. And it's just an illusion. It's playing with light. It's playing with these different colors. If I want something sparkly now, I'm going to use my Best Blends Forever brush that I love so much. And I'm going to take this illuminator, which is Glamazing. And I'm going to put it. And that's going to be the brightest highlight, okay? The brightest is where it's going to look really, that's the high points of your face. So you can put a little bit right here on your nose, put a little bit right here on your Cupid's bow. You're getting it right there on your cheekbones. And those are the ones that it's really, so it's like you have like the darkest, and then it gets warmer, and then it gets lighter and lighter, and then like the brightest are just right in those little tiny speck spots right there, and I'm going to put a little bit right here. Look how pretty. Just that little bit of illumination. You guys, I haven't even put on eyeshadow. I'm not going to do that here. I'm going to go over and do that on my Instagram. It's Love It Louisa. If you want to follow me there, I would love to see you there. I have a lot of fun over there. Right here on the highest points of my brow. There you go. And look at how just nice and everything. And this takes me, I do this every day when I do my makeup. It doesn't even take me that long, probably about 10 minutes because I've got the hang of it and everything. And again, look at that nice contour, but it looks natural and the makeup doesn't look cakey. See if I can get close enough that you guys can really like judge for yourself. It's just looks very second skin to me. Okay, there you go. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Make sure that you check out my link and get color matched if you're interested, and that you keep hanging out with me here. I love having people come and hang out, and I just really have a good time. So thank you so much for joining. Sarah says she loves the makeup. Wish I could get it all, but PayPal isn't offered at checkout. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, so PayPal isn't offered, but you guys, anybody who's interested, have you heard of Klarna? Klarna is an app that works like Afterpay, and it lets you make payments every 2 weeks. So that's another option that I absolutely love. And I'm sorry about the whole PayPal thing. They said it's coming, but I don't know when. So we'll see. But there you go. And yeah, message me if you have any questions, and I will talk to you guys soon. You guys have a great day. And I'm headed to North Carolina this week for a conference and like a retreat. I'm so excited. Or South Carolina. So keep in touch, okay? I'll talk to you soon.